All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to day two of our pre-event for EntreMD Live. EntreMD Live is our annual event where we bring doctors together, give you the inspiration, give you the roadmap you need, give you the community you need so you can go crush, we can crush business, we can change our businesses, change our lives, and then, change the physician community, right? And this year, I was like, there are things I do before an event to get ready. There are things I do after an event, to make sure I get the most out of it. And I decided to bring everybody into that experience, right? So I was like, let's work on some mindset things. Let's work on some social media things so that when we get into EntreMD Live proper, we are ready to kill it. Like we're just going to show up. We're going to get things done. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Okay. So yesterday we looked at the 7-figure mindset and you guys had your workbooks, you did homework. How many of you did something different today because of the session yesterday? Say me in the chat. Like you were like, I changed something. I decided to look for opportunities where I only saw difficulty. Dr. Mary's like, I took a walk in the morning, right? I'm paying attention to that inner state, right? Maybe you had a beginner's mindset. You're like, okay, I'm curious. I'm coming today with curiosity, right? Coming being coachable. All right. So I have some people. Who else? I know it's not just you. Somebody else. Who else? Who else? Yeah. Look at that. Dr. Angela's like me. I turned a difficulty into an opportunity. Yes. All right. So we don't show up at these events, because, just to have fun or just to be inspired, but this is really about life change. Okay. So Dr. Reese, I slept for 7 hours last night, feeling great. See, now I'm in a position I can work. I focused on the process, not the results. I prioritize my internal state. I love it. Okay. So this is what it's about. All right. So if you don't have your workbook, it's entremd.com/workbook. Grab that, print it out, because we're going to work through this. The idea, the team and I, we're showing up like you paid 10 grand for this. And we want you to show up like you paid 10 grand for this and get everything you can out of it. Okay. So the link for the workbook is right there. Okay. Dr. Dosuma says continued curiosity, and big shout out to Dr. Dosuma. She's been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades, like really going towards 3 decades at this point, but very curious. And because of that, she just has quantum leap after quantum leap, right? So, that's the beginner's mindset. Okay. So today we're going to be looking at this, the 7-figure social media brand. But before we do that, I do want to make sure that, we're in the right space for it. So what I'm going to do real quick is that I am going to put up a poll here, and I'm just going to, it's 2 questions. It's 1 question. It's just 1 question you have to answer. Okay. When you think about building a social media brand, what thoughts come up for you? Okay. So when we publish the results, nobody can tell what you picked. All right. So be honest. Be honest. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know how to, but I want to learn. I'm actively building a brand, right? It's already creating revenue for me, but I want to learn more. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So I have about 50% have taken the poll. Let's see how many more we can get. How many more we can get? I'll give it 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Yes, if you're on your phone, I think you have to go to where the extra dots are somewhere. It's a little different. I've never done it on my phone. I probably should. Yeah, we have 71%. 5 more seconds. Dr. Finica says puke. Okay, this is going to be good. I promise. I'm on your side. I promise. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here, okay? Let's take a look at what we have here. Do you guys see the results? You see the results there? Are you able to see it? Okay. All right. So we have 1% like, yeah, I don't think it's necessary. We have about, 39 to 42% don't know how, but I want to learn. I'm actively building, but it's not generating, it's not giving me the clients, it's not giving me the revenue. I'm just giving me revenue, but I want to learn more. Okay. So this is kind of where we are. And this is really, really great because this means we're in the right room. This means I'm in the right room. You're in the right room, right? Because we're going to talk about how to do this. We're going to talk about how you can use it to really change your business and, essentially change your life. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here in a second. Dr. Brennan's like, I can do it. Yes, Dr. Brennan's a rock star physician. Okay. All right, so here we go, okay? This is not about playing on social media. This is not about dancing to TikTok. This is not about staying up with all the trends. This is not about, giving up your life so you can live on social media where everything has to show up there. It's not about any of that. Okay. I believe that you're here because you want to build a business that helps a lot of people and creates financial freedom for you. Let me know if you're like, yep, Dr. Una, that is exactly why I'm here. That's why I'm coming for EntreMD Live. I want to build a business, right? It's going to help a lot of people. It's going to create financial freedom for me. It's going to give me the opportunity to live life on my terms, right? So it's a true win-win, right? We're not that's why we're here. Okay. Now, if that is something that you want to do, as we go through this, I want you to I want you to keep your why, right? I want you to keep your why in front of you. Think about all the people you would help. Think about all the pain you'll make go away. Think about the fact that you get back control. Think of the fact that you'll be in a state where you have financial freedom. You're living your team. You get to travel. You get to spend time with your family. Burnout gets to be a thing of the past. Think about the fact that maybe you've always wanted to be, you really wanted to be a philanthropist and all that stuff. You put yourself in a position where you can do that, where you can give at a much higher level. Think about all of that. That is the why behind the business. And when you start building a business, it's really important that you keep that why in front of you, because you're going to come up against things that you may not normally want to do. You may come up against things that you think, oh, this is hard, or this is different, I've never done it before, this is uncomfortable. It is your why that puts you in a position where you're like, yep, it is, but I am going to do this. Okay. So let me quickly go over some of the myths that come up. Okay. And for me, the deal here is I get it. Okay. Because you've heard my story. I started off as a super shy, socially awkward, introverted introvert. So me and social media, we were not going to have a relationship. Okay. That was not going to happen. I'm a very private person. I'm on social media a lot, but I'm still a very private person. Okay. Still a very private person. And so when these things come up about social media, I want you to I want us to get these things out of the way, and then I'm going to show you the 7 elements of a 7-figure social media brand. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Someone says, Dr. Toysi says she can't see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see me? Yes. Okay.
That's what I figured.
Oops. Now Siri's awake. Can you see me? Okay. I guess she thought I was talking to her. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. So one is I don't have the time. I don't know how, I don't know the tech. I don't know what to say, right? I don't need to be. I don't need to be on social media. Dr. Una, I've already built a 7-figure business. I don't need to be on social media, right? That might be what you're saying. You may be saying, I just want to take care of my patients and let everybody else take care of all the other things. You may be saying, I'm a very private person, okay? And if you've thought that, then there's nothing wrong with it, but they are myths. Okay. So I pulled up a statistic, and this is true as of April 2023. So I want you to hear this. So there are 4.8 billion social media users, which is 59.9% of the total population. 4.8 billion social media users. Okay. In the US, we have 302.4 million social media users. That is 90% of the population. Okay. All right. Now, in your business, please indulge me in the comments. How many of you want more clients, or you want more patients, or you want more team members, or you want more referral sources? How many of you want any of those things? Just say me in the chat. More clients, more team members, more referral sources, right? You want more opportunities, all of those things. Okay. I see a lot of me's. Okay. Dr. D is 100%. Doctor, and I'll tell you how much. Okay. I have some French going on. Yeah. Okay. This is the deal. 90% of the people you are looking for are on social media. I want more clients, but I don't want to be on social media, but they're there, right? Many of you have been in exam rooms with patients where you had to almost pry them away from their phones and they were on Facebook or they were on TikTok, right? Okay, so the clients you're looking for, they're on social media. The referral sources you're looking for, they're on social media. The rooms you're trying to get into, the gatekeepers are on social media. There are team members that are on social media. And the reason why I bring this up is because I have had clients come to me because of social media. I have had team members come and say, oh my goodness, I want to work for you because of social media. I have had people look at something I did on social media and say, oh, would you be a speaker, a paid speaker at my event? That's because of being on social media. I have had people approach me with all kinds of opportunities because I was on social media. 90% of the people you're looking for are on social media. And so if that's the case, I'm thinking we should be on social media. Okay. I'm going to talk about how to do it without giving up your privacy. You can still be an introvert. You can still keep your life, right? You don't have to give up your life for it. But I want us to embrace that, right? Now, when it comes to social media, again, let me know in the chat. If you're here and you were introduced to somebody and you searched for them on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, type me in the chat. You were introduced to somebody. Your first response was to go find them on social media. Somebody came to you for an interview, a job interview, and you went to look for them on social media. Who's done that? Dr. Mary's like, no, I haven't done that. Well, Dr. Mary, look at how many yeses, right? If someone comes to me for an interview, oh yes, I'm looking them up. If I meet somebody, you best believe I'm looking them up. So what Dr. Runke says always, okay? Now, so this is the point that I'm trying to get to. We can choose to build a brand or not, but people are looking for us. People are searching for us on Facebook. People are searching for us on LinkedIn. People are searching for us on Twitter. People are searching for us. You don't have to be everywhere, but people are searching for us. So what that means is you have a social media brand already. Like right now, you have a social media brand. Now, you may have a social media brand that's accidental, which means you exist on Facebook, people tag you on weird stuff, so that shows up on your page and all these things. So you didn't try it all. It's just what will be will be. And that is your brand. You have an accidental brand. Everybody here, you have a brand, okay? So you may have an accidental brand, which means anything can happen, anything goes, right? Anything goes. You can have a poorly developed brand, which means you are putting out some content. Maybe there's no real strategy around it. There's no consistency around it, but there is some stuff. If someone, looks for you and scrolls down and looks at like 10 posts, maybe they'll be able to figure out who you are and what you do. It's a poorly developed brand, but it is a brand, right? We all have brands. We choose how we want people to perceive us. We have a brand. It may be accidental. It may be poorly developed, or it may be a curated brand. See, the things people think about us is what we tell them. The perception somebody has about me is based on what I put out there. You guys see what I'm saying? So we don't want our brands to be accidental, where things could be like, we could be perceived a certain way when it was not our intent, right? We don't want that. We don't want to have brands that are poorly developed. And everybody has been on that social media page where you're like, okay, I see what they're posting, but I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they stand for. Like, I can't tell. Many of you have been on pages like, you're just like, ugh, a little bit of whiplash, a little bit of whatever, and you just walk away, right? But your brand can be a vehicle that brings in hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars into your business every single year. But it takes a curated brand to do that. Okay. Now, I talked a little bit about this yesterday. I am at a stage where I've built multiple businesses and all of that. And I treat my businesses as labs. right? Where I test a lot of things and then I come back. So like, in the EntreMD Business School, I'm showing up every week and training and coaching and all of that. And I say, okay, like, we tested out this and this works perfectly. So you guys you can try it out. So we do that. And so one of the things that we did, I was like, can you build $1 million business off of organic marketing, off of social media and all of those things without ads? Right? That was the question. I was like, I don't know, but we're going to do it. Right? And so we started leveraging the principles that I'm going to show you right now to build that brand that could create that. Right? So I'm going to go back to your why. Okay? So we're going to get into the 7 elements, and I want you to embrace it, but I want you to think about this. If you could build a business that gives you your dream life, but the pathway to the business that will give you your dream life is building a curated social media brand, will you do it? Let me know in the chat. Your dream life, I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to take off 2 months a year. I'm not making this stuff up. I have helped people who have done this. I'm pulling real examples. I want to build this business so I can retire my husband. I want to do this. I want to do that. And the business is what is going to take me there. That's my strategy to get there, right? And if learning how to build a curated brand can get me to the business that'll get me my life, will I do that? Right? So lots of yeses, right? So we're going to embrace this. We're going to embrace what we're going to talk about tonight. I know there's a lot of, I don't want to do social media, it's a time suck, all of those kind of things, but we're going to embrace this. Okay, we're going to embrace this. All right. Now, I think I may have seen someone who said I'm already doing that, and so I want you to think about what your next quantum leap is, right? Like, because the way it works is we arrive and we hit this peak, and that peak becomes our floor, and we get a new peak, right? So we think about what that next thing is. The next thing could look like another business. The next thing could look like another level of philanthropy. The next level could be anything. Right? This is the beautiful thing. When we were starting our journey as physicians, we had a prescribed path. You will go to high school, get good grades to get into pre-med, do well in pre-med to get in med school, do well in med school to get to residence, do well in residence to get to fellowship, do well in fellowship to get the job. Like, it was this pathway. In the world of entrepreneurship, you get to pick, right? You get to build business systems around your passions so you can actually do what you really want to do. All right. Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, I've never worked in EntreMD ever because I'm doing what I want to do. I want to help 100,000 doctors build profitable businesses so they can live life and practice medicine, completely disrupt the physician community, right? Like disrupt all the story of being stuck and our businesses don't work and all that. Like, be done with it. That's what I want to do. So I've never worked. Right. Okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. The elements of a 7-figure social media brand. Okay. And we're going to talk about the principles, not the tactic. Okay. So we're not going to say this is the way you set up a TikTok profile. We're not talking about that. We're talking higher level. We're talking about the elements of it. Okay. And again, this is something I've done. This is something many doctors in the EntreMD Business School have done. They've created all kinds of things from their social media brands. And I'll probably read some of them to you in a second. So number one, first element of a 7-figure social media brand, clear intention. Clear intention. The intention of this brand is it is a business asset. Okay? It's not a place to scroll. It's not a place to sit down and watch funny cat videos for hours on end. It's not a place to, vent when you're mad. It's not that's not why we're here. We're here to build a brand that is a business asset. Okay? What that means is I'm building a social media brand that is as effective as a full-time employee in my business. I am very clear why I'm here. So when I show up on Facebook, like whatever you choose to use, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever that is, I am showing up and I'm building a business asset. Okay? It is something that will attract clients to me, attract patients to me, attract people to volunteer to work with me. People reach out to me for opportunities. It opens doors for me. That is what I am building. Okay, so I want you to think about it. We think of social media, this place where people go to have fun and all these things, but that's not what Mark Zuckerberg does there, though. It's a business, right? It shows up there as an entrepreneur. So when I started doing these things, I'm like, I'm showing up like Mark Zuckerberg. That's what I'm doing here. I'm here as an entrepreneur. Okay, so you're building a business asset. You're building something that will help you get your business goals. So that's the first thing. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay. Second thing. The second element is focus. Okay. Because I am building a business asset, I am focused on my ideal client, the pain they have, the solution I offer them. So when I'm creating content, it's for the person I serve, addressing the pain they have, and giving them the solution I offer them. I'm not talking to all the people about all the things all the time. I have focus. And so I want you to think about social media brands that are doing really, really well. I'll give some shout outs here. Dr. Rachel Rubin is a doctor in the EntreMD Business School, and she's a fellowship trained sex medicine doctor. So urologist, fellowship trained in sex medicine. And if you go to her social media, Instagram is probably where she is the most. She is talking to her ideal person. She is talking about the problems they have. She's talking about solutions. She has a focused brand. Dr. Prem Tripathi, he's a facial plastic surgeon. He's talking about facial plastics, the problems they have, the solutions he offers them, how they can work with him, and all of that. It is a focused brand. Now, does that mean you never talk about anything else? No, but 90% of what you talk about is you're out there building a business asset, talking to your people, talking about the problems they have and the solutions you can give them. Okay. So Chick-fil-A is a chicken company, right? If I go there and 80% of what they have is beef, we have a problem. Right? So focus. So this is one of the hardest things. If I go to your social media page and I go through your first 3 or 4 or 5 posts, will I be able to tell who your ideal client is, the pain they have, the solution you offer, and how they can work with you? Will I be able to tell? Right? Because that's what makes it an asset. So focus, 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 focus. I just did an audit recently in the EntreMD Business School, pulled up some pages. I'm like, okay, let's look at it. Can we tell? Okay, so focus. Did we get that? Let me know. How are we doing? Let me know in the chat. And like, Dr. Una, we're tired already. Do I keep going? Yeah, we're going great. Okay, look at that. We're doing good. Okay. All right, so that's number 2. Number 2, focus, 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 the discipline of focus. If you come to my brand, I'm always talking to doctors. I'm talking to doctors who are entrepreneurs. I'm talking about the problems we face as physician entrepreneurs. I'm talking about solutions, things we can do so it can be better. I'm talking about how you can work with me. Focus. Why? I'm not playing on social media. I'm an entrepreneur on social media. I'm building a 7-figure brand on social media. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3. Okay. Number 3 is consistency. Number 3 is consistency. Okay, which means I'm showing up regularly. Okay, I like daily during the week, 5 days a week. If you're like, no way, doctor, no way, doctor. Actually, I'm about to leave this call right now. I'm about to leave this call right now, right? You can start with 3 and then work your way to 5, right? But it is the consistency that makes people, it gives you credibility. It establishes your authority. It makes people go like, okay, this person won't go away. Let me pay attention to what she's saying. Let me pay attention to what he's saying, right? People will follow you for a while before they decide to do anything with you. Okay, I did a poll once in the EntreMD Business School, right? I was like, how long Had you listened to the EntreMD podcast and followed me on social media before you came to the EntreMD Business School, there are people as long as 2 years. There are people as long as 3 years. So if, Dr. Bowen says a whole bunch of times, right? So if I show up once in a while and things like that, then I'm the day they decide, you know what, I am going to take this physician entrepreneurship seriously. I'm going to put myself in a community where I can accelerate my growth and all of that stuff. Then they can't find me because the last time I posted was 2 months ago, right? So consistency, because we're going to talk tomorrow about the kind of content. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I want you to think about, this is content that is solving problems for people. So they come to your social media page, you say something that encourages them. They come, you give them a hack that works for them. They come, you show them a mistake that they were making, they could correct, and they're looking back and they're like, oh my goodness, let me pick somebody here. Dr. Lear, every time I come on here, she gives me something that is totally rocking my world. I followed her for 3 months. I'm getting all these wins. My life is different. Like, man, let me go figure out how I can get more of this. Like, if this is what her free stuff is doing to me, what's going to happen if I actually worked with her? Consistency. Okay. Now, we're not talking hacks yet. We're going to talk about your dream team tomorrow. But let me give you a quick hack here. You showing up on social media consistently does not mean you need to show up on social media consistently. Let me explain what I mean by that. Yes, it would be nice for you to have a post a day, but you can schedule this, right? So you can sit one day, schedule a post out for the week. So your brand is consistently on social media, but you were there on Monday, you scheduled everything, you come in once a day to respond to comments and you go away and that's it. So again, I'm not talking about losing your life to social media, but you want to have that presence that is consistent. It matters. Okay. All right. So let me leave that one alone. I think I'm in the right room. I think we get it, right? Okay. Number four is the fourth element is connection. Okay. Is connection. And I want to talk about this because sometimes when we think about a curated social media, we think about, like every picture is a professional picture and the graphics are like super clean. It's almost like there's this big brand behind it and nobody can see the person. People like people. People like people. They want to see your face. They want to engage. The more you connect, the more you're human, the more people respond to you. So let me give you some examples. For instance, using stories. You'll hear me talk a lot about being an introvert. I almost ran off stage the first time I had to speak on stage. I even talk about it till today. Like I went up stage, I was super nervous. I'm an Enneagram 6. So of course my inner critic was like, oh, you're gonna fall down and, crack your teeth as you try to get on stage and all of those things. And I'm like, no, but this is how I overcame that. And this is how I went and dominated on that stage. Why am I telling that story? Because every introvert is like, I feel you. Yes, the introvert won, right? And they can go like, wait a minute. Apparently, we introverts can rock it on stage, right? Why do I talk about having 4 kids? Why do I talk about all these things? Because people identify with those things, right? So when you share stories, then you put yourself in a state where people connect with you better. They identify with you better. There's more resonance and they're like, this is the person for the job. This is who I need to work for. This is the doctor for me. This is the, coach for me. This is the, whatever that is. So stories, right? Responding to comments. Again, I'm not talking about living on social media. You can decide, I schedule my posts, they go out at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, I go in for 15, 20 minutes, respond to all my comments and I'm out. That's it, right? But that engagement makes you go like, she's a real person. And the truth of the matter is, the bigger your brand is, the more impactful that is. Okay? The more impactful that is. Okay. So my husband said this to me. This was a few months back, and he said, we're at a stage where if you tell somebody who's starting off, like, I believe in you, the weight of that is so much because of who you are. And so it's like, since you have that power, use it generously, right? And it's the same way with us, with our clients and things like that. When you respond and it's a genuine response, and sometimes it's one word. It doesn't have to be 7 lines, right? But that connection, it matters, right? It makes people go like, she's real, she's authentic, I really like her, she's a real human, and all of that stuff. Okay, so I want to talk too much about. So stories, responding to comments, videos, because again, videos, you're a real person. You see what I mean? You're a real person. They're like, I got to talk to her, but they didn't. It wasn't a two-way conversation, right? And I'll give you two more powerful ones. Your authority pieces. So sometimes as physicians, we shy away from standing in our authority, right? So whether that's I was featured in Forbes, I spoke on the stage, I got an award, like throwback to when I graduated from, residency or fellowship, or this thing that I did, positioning yourself as I'm the person you're looking for. You have client testimonials, patient testimonials. Those are all things that position you as the one. And so this is something you curate and you do on purpose. You can even decide every Friday, I'm going to do an authority post, whether that's a testimonial, whether that's a win that I had, whether that's an award. It could be a throwback to a talk I did a gazillion years ago, but I'm going to do something that positions me as there are many options out here, but I am the option for you. Okay. And then finally on that, we're still on number 4, but I'm just giving you aspects for connection. The final one there is solve problems. So we're entrepreneurs, we solve problems. We solve problems and we get a thank you note called money. That's what we do as entrepreneurs, right? And so what that means is the more you have your ideal client on your mind and in your content, the more people will say yes to you, the more people sign up to work with you, the more people come to be a part of your private practice, right? Now, of course, with private practice, you're answering general questions, right? Like you're not giving medical advice or anything like that. So you know that your patients are asking these questions. Like you're here, your private practice, this is the deal. Every time you walk into a room, people are giving you content topics. My kid's poop is green. Is that normal? Right? So your social media post is here, it's about that. Is green poop normal? And you'll be surprised how many people click on that because that's what they want to know. Right? My newborn is cross-eyed. Should I take them to the eye doctor? What to do if your newborn is cross-eyed? Don't worry about it. At least not till 4 months, right? Like that, you see what I'm saying? Like, just answer questions. They're already asking you. They ask you every day. You coach clients every time you sit and you're coaching them. All those questions are topic. There are so many podcast episodes. If you ask the people in the EntreMD Business School, they legit asked me a question. And I pulled out my microphone. I was like, okay, I'm going to do a live podcast recording. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about boom, what their question was. I answered because I'm like, if you're asking it, a gazillion other people are asking it. And the answer is too long for me to put in it in the chat. So I'm just going to make you an episode. And I will always get DMs like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. So solve problems. Solve problems. How many of you love problem solvers? You have people you follow on social media because every time you go there, right? Or maybe it's a podcast or whatever, right? Solve problems. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 4 is connection. Connection, connection, connection. So don't build a brand that's so perfect, prim, proper, structured, that doesn't have any connection. Okay? People want people. All right. Number 5, the 5th element of a 7-figure social media brand is that it is growing. It is growing. And it's growing because you're making it grow. Okay? All right. So I'm sending you virtual hugs, okay? Because you may not like this part too much, but remember your dream, right? We keep the dream in front of us. All right. Now, when it comes to growing, okay? Sometimes people tell me, well, I'm posting on social media and, nobody's seeing it, nobody's liking it, and all of that stuff, and it's not growing, right? There's no amount of posting on social media that makes your social media presence grow. Okay? When you post on social media, that's for the people who are already on your social media platform. Okay? Your social media grows when you engage with other people who are not on your platform, right? They're not your followers, they're not in your world. For instance, if you are engaging with somebody who talks to a lot of your ideal audience and they say, oh, and they tag you on something, then you grow. If you go and you're a guest on a podcast and you ask people to follow you, then you grow. if you go speak at an event, I can show you times where I spoke at an event, what happened to my numbers, social media, podcasts, all of that. You go speak at an event, then it grows. You go to a networking event, right? And you're like, oh, are you on Instagram? Let's follow each other, whatever. You grow by interacting with others. Okay. And all the introverts were like, rawr. Who are my introverts here? I just want to say hi. Who are the introverts here? Dr. Leah's like, yes, me. I feel you. I'm here for you. Okay. I go through all of this for you. I thought being an introvert was a handicap for so long. It is a superpower. Superpower. You can rock this as an introvert. Okay. Look at that. So many introverts. Okay. And extroverts, we love you too. Dr. Dugan's like, slowly raise his hand. Okay. So introverts, hear me. Okay. You want to go outside of your world and talk to new people. You want to go outside of your world and engage with new people. You want to be guests on podcasts with people who have access to your audience. A 7-figure social media brand. Dr. Dana says, I did raise my hand because I'm an introvert. Okay. But we want to go outside, right? We want to engage with other brands. Okay, that the more we put ourselves out there, the more our social media brands grow. Okay, that's the way that works. So networking events we can be at, when you go for conferences. Okay, if you're here and you're an introvert and you haven't listened to my podcast episodes on how to prepare how to get the most out of events, I did it twice. It was that important. Okay. But one of the things is when you go there, don't be like me. Okay. I'd sit at the back. I talked to one person so that nobody else would try to talk to me. And once it was politically correct for me to leave, I'd be out. Right. But in that room, there are people who would refer to you. There are people who will be your clients. There are people who open opportunities for you and all of those things. Right. So we want to engage. Okay. So Dr. Brenda's like, what of extroverts? How do we focus on the right extroverting? So that's a great question right now. So when it comes to focusing on the right extroverting, you really are looking for where are my people and where are the people who refer my people to me, right? So when you're extroverting, you're looking at places where your clients, your potential clients and patients are, and you're looking for the people who have your ideal clients, right? So you're strategically extroverting. Okay, so strategic extroverting. Okay, so who are my people? Who are the people who refer my people to me? Those are your people. Okay, all right, that's a great question. Okay, so I threw something heavy at you, so I'm just checking. Are you guys okay? Can you take 2 more? Can you take 2 more? Yes? Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Number 6. Number 6. Now we're going to talk about this a lot tomorrow, but it is the sixth element is frequent asks. So ASKS. Frequent. Okay, frequent asks, because the whole purpose of building this brand, of growing this brand, is so people come and follow you. The whole purpose of them following is for you to, give them value and all of those things. So they're getting wins just from your content. The whole purpose for that is getting the people to then come work with you. Not everybody, but enough to grow your business. Dr. Beckford said, this has become scary. Okay, listen, boy likes girl, girl likes boy. But for the girl to say yes, boy has to say, will you marry me? Right? Like for the guy, that's the whole point. All the dates, all that stuff. He's like, I want to get to this point where I can ask her to marry me. Okay? So sometimes we have these social media brands where we have a lot of followers, they're getting a lot of content. Nobody has any idea how to work with you. You haven't asked anybody to work with you. So they think you're so busy and you're all that and you don't have time for clients like them. And you're there saying, I don't know where the clients are. Right? So we have a stalemate. So we're asking, okay? We're asking. If you have XYZ and you would rather have ABC, come work with me. Your private practice, if you're looking for a primary care doctor in the Mansfield, Texas area, this is my phone number. Come schedule an appointment. If you're looking for Do you guys see what I'm saying? So we want to ask, we want people should be able to find out easily how to work with you. People should be able to find out easily how to work with you, how to take next steps with you. Okay? Because you're going to choose, do I want to be famous? Do I want to be an influencer? Or do I want to build a profitable business? Okay? All right. So I have, what are your thoughts about hiring? Okay, you guys are asking like the best questions. Okay, what are your thoughts about hiring a marketing agency to help grow social media slash online business? I think marketing agencies are amazing. However, when you have not identified your brand voice, when you do not know how to promote yourself, when you don't know what your market responds to, when you don't have a proven offer sales system, you can throw a lot of money away with a marketing agency because they are not going to pull out your business from you. You kind of have to know, right? So, for instance, I had built a business and I know these are the pain points of my people, why I've interacted with them. This is what they need, why I've interacted with them and I've served them. This is what they respond to, why I've produced content and I know what they're like, Dr. Una, I needed that, right? This helped me, all of that kind of stuff. Now I can give direction to the marketing agency, and whether it's marketing agency or it's an internal team, but we have to pull out what our business, we have to interact with the market, we have to find what the brand voice is before we say marketing agency take this. Because so sometimes what I'll see is people start a business and then they will delegate their social media completely to their VA, and then they're mad it's not converting. Your VA has no idea what you do. They have no idea what you do. So they will make pretty graphics. Remember what I said, this is not about pretty graphics. This is why I'm giving you the elements. They'll make pretty graphics. They'll show up a lot. They'll say a lot of nice words, but it won't do anything because you're not in it, because you didn't download you into them, because you didn't download you. You don't even know, right? So, Dr. Foley, I hope that answered your question. So the answer is yes, but not right away. Um, Dr. Bala said I struggle on how to frame my call to action. So we're gonna do the 7-figure sales system tomorrow. So we're gonna play around with that quite a bit. Okay, but really it's around, this is the pain, this is what life could look like. Come work with me, let's do it. Right? Like it's some kind of framework like that. But we're gonna talk about that. Looks like I'm hurting people, huh? I see ouch in the comments, all those things. Okay, one more. Let's do one more. But if you are not going to ask, you're not going to build a 7-figure social media brand. Let me say that again. If you're not going to ask, you're not going to build a 7-figure social media brand. So you can throw all of this away and say, Dr. Una, I'm not asking, so I just forget it. But remember the dream, okay? This is why we're doing this. We're choosing to evolve because we want the dream, okay? So we ask. Now, one of the things we'll talk about tomorrow, I'll give you a brief piece of it. We have this thought of sales being this yucky, slimy thing that used car salesmen do, okay? But if you think about what you do, right, it is so powerful that yes, people can get wins when you post. Yes, people can get wins when they listen to your podcast. Yes, people can get wins when you do a live stream, but nothing compares to when somebody actually works with you. You're a lifestyle medicine doc, okay? And you're posting on Instagram, or somebody can work with you for 6 months, which will work better. So when you think about asking in terms of, I am giving people an opportunity to get the best results they can get with me, right? Then you see that selling is serving, selling is helping, right? So asking is helping. It's not trying to manipulate people, it's helping. When I talk to people about the EntreMD Business School, I'm very clear that I'm helping. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you want to lean into your service. What is it that I do? What are the wins that people have had? If I extrapolate it, what does that actually mean? So for instance, I've worked with a doc who's like, okay, I built my practice. I took it to $1 million. I paid off $260,000 of student loans. I'm, like I'm living life on my terms. I'm taking vacations. So I'm not just looking at, I have a successful business. I'm looking at all of it. So when I'm selling, when I'm telling people, hey, if you want to come join the business school, come on. When I'm doing that, I'm doing it from the standpoint like, look at what could happen. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So let's practice this. Type in the chat. Asking is helping. Asking is helping. Selling is helping. I'm helping somebody get the most dramatic results they can get. Okay? It's helping. We have to see it that way. It's helping. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay, so are you guys filling out your workbook? You start writing your big takeaways. Yes? Write your wins, like poof. My mindset was blown here. Boom. Something that was struggling with my business. I figured it out. Right? Okay. Number 7. Now, number 7 almost has nothing to do with social media, but it's one of the most important. Detach your value and your self-worth from your brand. You have to be free. One of the things I'm most grateful for is that I have a full life that has nothing to do with social media. Like I have a full life. I derive my value from my faith, my all that stuff, my family, my friends. I have real relationships. I have a real life that doesn't exist on social media, and so I draw all my stuff from that. I'm totally detached from my social media brand. That is a business asset. So that you have freedom, you have peace. If the trolls show up, it doesn't matter. It may sting a little, but in the grand scheme of events, it doesn't matter. It can't be like, oh, my brand, my this, my that, how many followers. It can't be that. It's a business asset. It's separate from me. I don't get my worth from it. If somebody comes there and writes something nasty in the comments, it doesn't have anything to do with me. If I need to learn something from it, I will. Like, okay, so do we need to fix a process in our business? All of that. It has nothing to do with my worth. It has nothing to do with my value. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm a whole person separate from social media, separate from my brand. My brand is not me. My brand is a business asset. This way, even when all the things that happen on social media happen, you can still be you and you can still be happy. You can still, love your life and love yourself because we don't want to live lives where we're in bondage, like to, I lost 5 followers, right? And it's like, oh, am I still human? Am I worth it? No, 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 it's an asset. I'm me. I'm separate. So build real relationships, build real friendships, spend time with your family, spend time with you, know your worth, right? But separate that so you can be okay. Because there is a lot of fakeness and, it's not real and, it's just, now your brand does reflect who you are, right? It does reflect who you are. Someone's asking that. It does. But there's the real you that is a dad, that is a mom, right? That volunteers at the hospital, that has real relationships. You have real fun. Your fun is not, I posted a picture and 1,700 people liked it yesterday, but today 200 people liked it. Am I worthless? As my right? Have your real, pull your value from somewhere from social media. Have a real life, have real relationships, real friendships. Take care of your inner state, do all of that stuff, but just make sure they're separate. Make sure they're separate. Okay? So that way you can weather every storm and you're okay. Okay? Did you guys get that? Now, this last piece is really, really, really important. I remember taking a walk one day and I was like, you know what? I am so grateful that I'm separate from my social media. And it doesn't mean I'm different in real life than on social media. It just means I'm separate. So I can handle things that come on there because I'm separate. Okay? Okay. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Okay, I have homework. So first of all, who's working their workbooks? Who's working their workbooks? Let me know. Who's working their workbooks? Yes? Makita, I don't know. I think you might have to give prizes for the workbook. Looks like people need incentives. Okay, entremd.com/workbook. Make sure you have it with you tomorrow. The idea is for, do you see how today is not fluff? This is not fluff, right? Like I could charge for this. This is not fluff. This is to help you start your process, build your brand, do all of these things. Yes, we didn't talk tactics, but the overarching principle is important, is very important, so that you can then take the tactics and put them underneath it. Okay. All right. So I have homework for you. Okay. Homework is you're going to do an intro post on social media. Pick your platform: LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. I don't know how you, well, intro, you could do a video, Instagram, whichever. I'm just going to do an intro post. This is who I am. You want the framework, right? This is who I am. This is who I help. This may be the way life looks now, which is the pain. This is the way life could look on the other side. This is the way it looks for people I work with, right? Stuff like that. Okay. And I'll let you do any combination, but intro post, and you're going to use the hashtag EntreMD Live, so the team can go out there, because apparently Makita is going to be spending my money tomorrow at EntreMD Live. Okay. So this is your pain, but this is what life could look like, and I'm the answer. Okay, that kind of post. Put a pretty picture. And do you need to go get a social, like a professional headshot tonight? No. Take your iPhone. If you're an iPhone user, if you're not an iPhone user, come to the bright side. Okay, so iPhone portrait mode. Take a picture. So it's asking me how many photo shoots I get. I'm like, one every 5 or 6 years, which I need to change that. So I'm not teaching that. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm like, I use my iPhone for all the other stuff. Okay, so do your homework, hashtag EntreMD Live. Why am I having you do homework? Because we don't do learnitis in EntreMD. Learnitis means I learn, but I have no intention of doing, right? We don't do that. We learn to do. So I want you to start practicing. Use that. We're going to be resharing some stuff. We're going to be giving away prices and all of those kind of things, okay? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, EntreMD Live, the main event is happening, okay? No, not the intro, not in the Facebook group. Great question, Dr. Tyne. No, it's on your page. So you use the hashtag, we will find it. Okay, but on your page. The intro post on your own page. I want this to work for you. Yes, thank you. She was like, I know you, Dr. And I know you didn't want it in the Facebook group. Don't post it in the group. Post it on your page. Okay. Okay. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. I want you to come like you paid 10 grand for it. I want you to come with your workbook. I want you to come ready to learn. I want you to come ready to work, because you're going to walk away. Your business would have shifted. How many of you can say tonight, based on what I learned, my business has shifted? How many of you can say that? You're like, I was hiding. Apparently can't hide anymore, because I'm going to be fixing some things right now, right? This is the whole idea. Your business is shifting. That's what we want. Okay, so I want you to think about tomorrow. I will give you time for bio breaks. I will give you time for lunch, but I want you to show up ready to work. Okay, all right. Now, having said that, Dr. Chidima said, learnitis, be gone. Okay, having said that, okay, this is the way we're doing this. In EntreMD, our job is to reach the physician community, right? Our job is to help physicians figure this out. Okay. Now, this event, we're putting it on for you. And so as you've been here, you got a lot of value out of this. When you leave this place, I want you to just text a few docs. You can post it on social media. You're like, look, y'all need to come with me for EntreMD Live, because apparently Dr. Una is serious. Like, I thought I would come for some fluffy thing. She's not fluffy. What if you don't have a business yet? Thank you so much for asking that. Every doctor has a business. It is Dr. You Incorporated. It is your personal brand, okay? Which is a business asset. It is a business asset. Everybody has learned to use it. The recruiters are like, yeah, this job, and if you don't want to, send it to your friends. Why? They know you have a multi-million-dollar network, and they want to tap into your network. We don't know about it. They're just like, oh, just forward the email. I'm like, will you give me 10% of your commission if I forward the email? And usually they're quiet after that, right? You could speak on stages. You can monetize that. You can have a podcast and you can monetize that. There are so many things you can do with your brand. So if you do not have a business, when you show up, I want you to show up as the CEO of Dr. You Incorporated. That's your business. We all have businesses. Okay? We all have businesses. And we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. Okay? All right. So what I want you to do is grab the doctors in your life to join you tomorrow. Okay, grab them to join you tomorrow. Say, hey, let's do this together. You guys can even form little pods and workshop together. We can do all the things. Okay, but please don't come alone. Grab another doctor, because this is about a movement. This is about a movement of change. You've heard me talk about helping 100,000 physicians. The reason why I say that is because I have studied movements, and I have said, if you can touch 10% of a population, you can change the entire population. Think about the number of doctors who feel stuck, the number of doctors who are building businesses, but the businesses are not working, loss of autonomy, burnout, all of that. To think that if 10% of us rise and do things differently and evolve, that the entire physician community can change. We're doctors. We can hit 10%. Okay, so the link to share is entremd.com/live. entremd.com/live. And let's be part of that movement. Your businesses are going to be better. Your life is going to be better. But at the same time, imagine us also giving a gift of the physician community being better. Okay, so entremd.com/live. So bring the doctors in your life with you. Tell them, look, this is the best 6 hours ever. Pretend I paid 10 grand for this for you, and show up that way. Okay. All right. So you have your workbook. Work the workbook. Dr. Moses said, thank you for talking about we're the CEOs of our business. We are the CEOs of our brands. And I almost feel like I need to do a summit just for employed physicians to really do a deep dive and explain that concept. Because people are leveraging that, and they're back in control, right? Once you see yourself as a CEO of your brand, you're in control. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody says. So I may do that. I may do a whole summit for you guys. Okay. All right. But when you come tomorrow, please come tomorrow like I am the CEO of Dr. Me Incorporated. Okay. All right. Rooting for you guys relentlessly at all times. Okay. So I want to see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern with your friends. And we are going to do a deep dive from level after level after level. And we're going to be co-working. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. So see you tomorrow.